That was so
Happy
bad.
birthday, Adam.
That was so bad.
Jordan's got a 10-minute solo.
I hope it's so low no one can hear it.
Happy birthday to you, bro. I'm gonna make it so loud that it busts everybody's eardrums. Now I'm playing. Happy birthday, everybody.
Birthday.
Everybody, if you're listening.
A lot of birthdays actually in my comments. Thank you. A lot of birthdays in my comments same day. So that's nice. Happy birthday, everybody who's sharing the same day as two iconic people.
By the way, today of this recording, June 17th.
Me and Kendrick Lamar share the same birthday.
Ooh.
And yesterday was Tupac's.
Look at you.
Just saying.
How does it feel to automatically know that you are not the most important person on your day? Because everyone's saying
ain't that the fucking truth? On Twitter. Ain't that the truth?
No shame in it. I'm just saying, like, for real. Like, everybody's on Twitter, like, happy birthday, Kendrick. And it's just like, hi.
Yeah, I'm here too, bitches. Thanks. So we got a show today. As always, welcome to the Daily Kazoo podcast. I'm the resident MC, we'll go with, the official Megs. Over here next to me is KingVonSchweetz. Yeah, no, I always do it because you're like right there. Yeah, right there. That is KingVonSchweetz. And then right here we have JPhrygian.
What it do, people?
Oh, that was so anticlimactic. I set you up. I literally alley-ooped you. And you were like, nope.
Bro, I'm the chill vibe here. Don't act like the people don't already know.
I know. All right. So we have some things to talk about today. Been a busy week, actually. I thought it was going to be a little slow.
I did.
Bit on the busy side.
A lot of announcements.
Lightyear came out, and it kind of put me in my feels. I'm not going to lie. To sit there and think, like, Toy Story came out in 95, November of 95. And when we were kids, we went to watch it. And now, depending on, if you have kids or not and stuff like that, like, and obviously Jordan's going to start crying. Now we're bringing our kids to watch Lightyear that Andy watched as a kid, to love Buzz, to make Toy Story that we watched as kids.
It's wild. Comes full circle.
Isn't it? And then somebody actually brought up at work the other day.
But there are people online that don't like this movie.
Oh, I know that. And then there's somebody in this room that does not like this movie. Ooh. Yep. He's probably not Dreamcast.
Dream Killer?
No. What's the other studio that does animation?
Oh, DreamWorks. No, I know what you're going to say.
DreamWorks.
No.
Yeah, he's a big DreamWorks fan. He thinks The Last Dinosaur is the best movie ever.
Oh, good night.
Somebody actually brought this up. Do we get a Wiz roundup? And is it the episode that the prospector has been wanting forever to know how it ends? That would be interesting.
On the matter of Buzz, though,
yeah,
I think the way that they set up this film, not good. Because I just want to say, they said in 1995, Andy got a Buzz Lightyear toy, and it was based on his favorite movie. This is that movie. So first of all, if a company is making Buzz Lightyear toys, what company do you think it is?
Back then? I mean, it's Mattel.
Sure. Right, but it was a Disney toy. Like, it was a Disney licensed toy. And you got to go back in 1995.
Mm-hmm.
The only toy from this movie, from Lightyear, on the shelves is
Woody.
Buzz Lightyear.
That was Buzz Lightyear.
Is Buzz Lightyear. And you have the entire movie. The entire movie is about Buzz, sure, but you also have all of these sidekicks and even partner characters that are people of color. So all I'm saying is it kind of makes sense, and it's kind of sad that in 1995, Disney's like, here's a white guy. We're only going to make toys out of this one. We're not going to make any other characters a toy. It kind of is like a slap in their own face by themselves. I know they didn't intend that, but I'm just saying, like...
Your point is to say that there was not a lot of other toys from this whole movie that Andy watched as a kid. Like the only thing that stood out.
I mean, like even
was
anything else other than Buzz, and then in Toy Story 2 we got Zurg. But I mean, like, I don't know. I just thought it was like. And then the other thing is the animation in this movie. I will say, 10 out of 10. It was spotless.
Well, I really wanted to argue with you of like why you didn't like it, and then you said finally like why you didn't like it, and I'm just like, damn, I really can't argue with you because it's like so true. But like it's like the reverse, right? Like
Keke Palmer's character was just as important as Buzz, in my opinion,
if not more, honestly. But
yeah, it was just like, why didn't Keke Palmer get an action figure? Like, why was it Buzz?
So here's my argument. The only argument I have, it's No. It's the same argument as it's the reverse of the argument. Honestly, is Andy related to Buzz because as a kid he saw Buzz and Buzz looked like him. So that I could see maybe being an answer. Honestly, I don't disagree though with what Jacob's saying. I get
the other thing I was saying is like the animation is really good, but like back in 1995. That would not have been the animation. So were they trying to pass this off as a live action movie back then, and they just animated it for us?
Well, I love how Joker brought that up actually, somewhat like that. And it's like she was like, "You think we can get a movie about the guy who played Buzz?" And I was like, "It's just going to be he's an alcoholic womanizer, and then like gets his life together because he's Nicolas Cage all of a sudden." Like that would be the animated movie of that, right? Like.
I think this whole movie was just too meta for me. Like it was just like, what if we take a movie that exists and make a movie about one of the characters in it, but it's not like a prequel or a sequel. It's like a complete spin-off in a whole nother universe.
Yeah.
That's this is not good.
Well, I was
real quick. Sorry,
you're good.
Call, but I haven't seen it yet. However, it's really funny because did Buzz happen in Toy Story and then kind of the expansions of other characters and aliens come after? Because there was a Buzz Lightyear TV show, and I know that expanded into like some of the other characters. It's really funny how if you literally just take away the statement, this was the movie that Andy watched that made him love Buzz Lightyear, maybe Jacob doesn't have this criticism of it.
The film probably would have been a lot better in my opinion.
So they actually they monologue it in the beginning, like this is that movie, or you mean from a marketing standpoint?
No, they say it at the very beginning. That's like the first thing that comes on screen that says that.
Yeah, I can see how maybe that kind of makes it like slightly make less sense for you. Like, if there were all these other cool characters, at the very least, like Andy could focus on Buzz, but they could have had the existence of like a comic that showed like some other characters other than Buzz.
Well, and the other thing is like, sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead.
The other thing is like, as a fan of like the Buzz Lightyear like Space Ranger show, I expected like maybe like hints or nod at that, or like maybe a cameo or something. Which no, there wasn't any. But this isn't a spoiler. They did leave it open for a sequel.
Oh, they left it open for like a Disney Plus show, basically. Like,
I was like, oh, God. Like if you make a show out of it, that's one thing. But I'm not talking about Disney Plus show 40-minute episodes. I'm talking like 22-minute episodes.
Yeah, like the skits, like the shorts.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, not even a short, but like Buzz is going almost like kids Star Trek.
No, I agree.
You literally just have Buzz just going to different planets, and that's really how you introduce. Well, yeah, but that's how you introduce like the green aliens and like.
So it's funny you bring that up because I put out both of you obviously saw the video I did about like the poster and like how the movie touched me and like how it got in my feels and stuff. And all I got was like, Andy is too old in the photo. Why are the aliens there? Because the aliens don't come till Toy Story 2. So how did he have the aliens for Buzz Lightyear if this is the movie that he watches to love Buzz Lightyear?
People are judging promo art too much.
And then like Jacob's over here being realistic about shit. Okay, so here's the real answer from somebody not being realistic. It's awesome. It's so good. I feel like everyone who like loves Morbius, right? Like it's just like it's an unrealistic love for something, and I don't care because like I sat there and I watched it and then I looked at the photo, and I'm not gonna lie, I told both of you I went to my car and I wept. and I just cried because like I was that kid. I don't cry at everything, thank you. But like it was me on that poster. It was my birthday on it. Like it just brought back so many emotions to me. And it was just great. I thought it was a good, fun movie. Like, okay, so minus Jacob, what you said of that. You take that out.
I was about to say, minus
fun movie.
What I said, if you took away those first, 3 sentences that popped up before actual things started happening, if you take that away, I think the movie was really good. I wouldn't say it's great. I wouldn't say that it's like one of my top 100 films, but it was definitely entertaining. And I will say whoever wrote Buzz's lines like in that movie deserves an award, because there were some lines that I quote to this day, and some of my friends look at me like, the heck was that? And I'm like, it was a Buzz Lightyear line from like Toy Story 3, like it doesn't matter. But like they had it in the movie. And I'm like, this is great. Like nobody knows this line. So I don't know. Like it was great in a lot of different ways. But I think overall it was it could have been a lot better if you took away those first 3 sentences. And I kind of expected to see more of like, I don't want to spoil anything, but like more of a struggle from Buzz based on his actions at the beginning.
Agreed.
But overall, I liked it. I just think that they should have taken away those first 3 sentences, and it could have still been a good movie.
What'd you rate it?
Point. I'm just kidding. I would say I'm doing this thing on Q, the app that I've like advertised on here before.
Yeah.
And where I'm putting my favorite quote, my favorite character, my favorite moment, and then how I rate it. And I'm finding that 7 is just like the number that I give any movie that I'm like, I'll never watch this again, but it was enjoyable.
That's funny. I'm 7.8. I'm a 7.8 on this one because it's like right there to be an 8 for me, but it's not. I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's like, I won't watch it again. I'm gonna go. Obviously, Jared didn't go, so like, I'm gonna go watch it again. I'm still gonna enjoy it. I'm still gonna have fun with it. I think the Marvel connection is fantastic, and I think it's clever.
Like so, with the Brolin thing.
Yeah.
That too. That was funny.
We obviously don't say anything because that's a big thing, but of who Brolin is. But like, like the dad thing, and then like somebody when I brought up the video, they were like, Andy didn't have a dad, and then I'm like, oh my god, did they get Brolin's dad to do this because Andy didn't have a dad, and like who brought it? Like I spiraled, and I was just like, that's way too deep. Pixar's deep, but they're not that deep.
So if we haven't explained it. I mean, it is out there. Like I'm not going to say any spoilers, but Josh Brolin's dad, who I don't know the first name of, plays Zurg.
Jason, I think.
Jason. Okay, so Jason Brolin, and so Jason Brolin plays Zurg, who's known to wear purple, and Josh Brolin plays Thanos, who is purple. And on top of that,
But both of them fight Chris Evans.
Both of them fight Chris Evans. And on top of that, I was going to add it onto Straw Hat's video.
James, I was wrong. I'm sorry.
On TikTok. Chris Evans also, while flying a ship to help his people, travels about 70 years into the future.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's just kind of funny.
I didn't even think of that one.
How weird this movie is.
But, like, the one thing I do want to talk about with this movie is, like, it's not showing in 17 or 16 countries because of his partner's time lapse and story of her having a female. There's like a gnat right in front of me right when I'm talking of her having a female partner and them getting married and all that stuff. And I get religious cultures and I understand like to a certain degree, but like at some point something's got to give, right? Or is this just
so? But like
no, like I hope is the answer.
Mega corporations, do not care about your feelings.
No,
they care about money.
No, they do not.
Yeah. So the only reason that Disney went back on this, if you think back, because they had originally told them, no, you're not going to include this scene, was the whole and again, I don't remember the name of the actual bill. I only remember what people called it online, which is the Don't Say Gay bill.
Yeah.
In Florida, and them kind of behind the scenes supporting the people that put that forward.
Mm-hmm.
Then they started to go against it because they were getting backlash for it. And then they told Pixar, keep that relationship in the film. And now they're losing money on it overseas, but they may be making up for it money-wise over here.
Yeah.
But it's not a good look because
think this through, right? Like how much money Doctor Strange made did not play in China because of the two moms. They refused
and
to
that
take
was a 12-second scene.
Yeah. And they didn't.
And then a reference later on in one line. Yeah.
Like imagine how much money that would have been.
I mean, and a thing I'm trying to pull up here too, really funny enough, I can't find the original thing, right? But funny enough, Chris Evans actually had some words to say about this.
I saw the quote.
Yeah, so this is semi the quote, but wait, window. Oh my God, where are you?
You have it?
Share dagnabbit. There we go. Yeah. It's Chris Evans. Short of it is homophobic Lightyear critics are idiots who will die off like dinosaurs. That is a slightly out of context of the entire thing that he actually did say. More of the full thing was every time there's been a social advancement as we wake up, the American story, the human story is one of constant social awakening and growth, and that's what makes us good. So there's been a lot of talk of just, he's just like, hey, the critics who have this opinion that, having that inclusion in the movie is a bad thing. He's just like, they'll be gone eventually. And, as sad as it is to say, he's right. That is true. They'll just be gone.
No, I agree.
And hopefully a new era will move in. More people of our age group would be up in the ranks of like these critic positions and writers.
Speaking of a new era, but an old song, the Russo brothers and Hercules. But with Guy Ritchie?
That news broke today, and I broke today. I read online that it was going to be Guy Ritchie, which, if you don't know, Guy Ritchie has done a lot of action films, but he also recently did the live-action Aladdin film. So if you loved that movie, then you'll probably love Hercules. But if you didn't, the other thing with that is the Russo brothers apparently are not trying to adapt it straight from the Disney movie. They're just taking inspiration from it, which is very depressing because Hercules animated movie, probably top 10 Disney films of all time.
You do know what this sounds like though, right? No. This sounds exactly like Lion King. Sounds exactly like what they did with Lion King.
Lion King was like almost shot for shot the same movie.
But like they didn't take. I don't disagree, but there
were some important parts they didn't put in Lion King.
Right, they didn't do a lot of things, and then on
more
top
like
of
Mulan.
So like more like Mulan then, but like it was taking ideas. We'll talk a little bit about this. No songs, kind of some songs, know some things, and like, look, there's some important songs in Hercules, and if we don't get them, we riot.
If we don't get
the muses.
Oh my God, the muses made most of the movie. I'm just saying they brought the soul, they brought the funk.
If you're casting the muses, who are you casting?
With anybody from all time, or do we have to use people now?
People now, because that would be who you want. I mean, like, look,
Jennifer Hudson.
I thank you. That was my like when you think of it, right?
Yeah,
First
Jennifer
person,
Hudson, Alicia Keys,
Fantasia.
I would include Beyonce if it wasn't probably going to break half the budget, but Beyonce.
Like, who would you get?
I
Lizzo,
think
for sure.
I was gonna say I think
Lizzo would be
black
great.
artists. I think more black artists because like immediately I thought Lizzo. And then, honestly, if you get whatever artist, it wouldn't break the budget. But I was thinking like Lizzo, her, and Ella Mai.
All right.
Just together as the vibe. I don't know.
What about like Jill Scott? What about like Jill Scott?
Perhaps. Well, also the thing is that music did have a a gospel vibe, so it is interesting to.
Well, that's why I said Fantasia.
Artists,
Fantasia was that was that wheelhouse of that. But Jennifer Hudson could do gospel-ish things like that, or we're like, perfect. You wanted Beyonce? Beyonce's too much money. Kelly Rowland.
Don't do that.
I didn't say Michelle.
Anyway, moving on.
Oh, I'm sorry. What? My bad for like nobody wants to deal with Michelle. I'm sorry.
Anyway, I'm excited for this movie, but just because it has the Russo brothers name on it, any other reason kind of gives me a lot of fear. They
do movies justice, but
agreed.
It does with the way you two are describing the news, because I know this was new for me to hear. It does sound similar to kind of like Mulan-ish, where it's like it's our own story. We're only deriving from the Disney. And the moment they said Mushu wasn't in Mulan, that the movie was over. I was like, at least for me, I was checked out.
I feel like I started thinking about it. I feel like that's what is going to happen with Hercules, except it's going to be Phil and no Danny DeVito, and people are going to riot. Yeah, no Danny DeVito, people are going to lose it.
You know, it'd be interesting to me actually. I'm on this. I'm still on this Muses nonsense. So, Hallie is playing Ariel for the live action. What if Chloe does the Muse?
Chloe Bailey.
That would be Chloe. I could see that.
Yeah, because they could, and it could just be that they have people play the muses, but then an artist does the singing voices for all of them. I could see them doing something. Because
remember,
like
in Lion King, like the original Lion King, Jonathan Taylor Thomas was the voice of Simba, but the actual singer was somebody else. Okay, good to know. Apparently, the oldest one here can hold their bladder, but somebody else. Oh, waiting for me.
So you brought it up, so now we're already on it. So for a quick 2-minute segment, real quick, for everybody listening, if you're listening on Apple or Spotify, or if you're watching on the YouTube version, this guy's trying to have beef because he was the one that we were waiting on to start. We weren't going to talk about
for like 2 hours. Let's be
we weren't going to.
Literally 2 hours you guys were waiting for me, and it wasn't like we had it was like the answer that these assholes gave me was after 6. That's not a time, that's a rough estimate. Anytime after 6 we're good. And I said, okay, that works.
I thought you would give a definitive time that was cool at that point.
Nope, it's my birthday.
Yeah, but we were stating that because it was after earlier 6. Than normal.
After 6 is what we said.
He's not wrong. However, we texted at the point after 6 to say, "Hey, I am ready," and he could have said,
"Really good
I
time
won't be ready until ever."
I didn't even give it time. I was like, "I'm still eating. I'll be there at some point." And then 2 hours later, I showed up.
We didn't have to talk about it. You brought it up.
Here. I'm here, and I'm
told on yourself. We filled the conversation at that point, though.
Yeah. So. Jacob, just point at me and say, "Yeah."
No.
Okay.
I can't agree.
I slandered Adam because he's the one who decided to bring up the happenings from before we started. So, told on himself.
So, moving on from Hercules.
Y'all are funny.
Is anyone else kind of like, where did Kenobi go? Because now we're at season finale of Kenobi. And I'm just kind of like, no, I want more. Can I have more, sir? More?
I think they're going to give us more. I think that they're just waiting until the season finale, and then people are going to be like, oh, can we have more of that? And then
there'll be one more. You think there's one more episode in the pipeline, or?
Oh, no, I think they'll have another season.
Oh, I agree on the other season. But
especially
like
just Ewan McGregor recently just said, like, he doesn't want this to be the last time he plays Obi-Wan because all the love.
I'm just happy that we didn't celebrate a mannequin the whole time. We actually finally gotten spoilers. If you have not seen episode 5 yet, 3, 2, 1. I'm just happy we finally got to see Anakin again, like actual Anakin. Because
and
if we
got a flashback too.
Yeah, we got a flashback to Clone Wars.
You're happy?
and I thought it was hysterical because like this whole time everyone's like arguing like, oh, Hayden, all this stuff and giving all this love to Hayden. And the whole time I'm just sitting here going, bro, it's a voiceover of James Earl Jones and Hayden as like a Macy's mannequin right now. Like, what are we celebrating? Like, it's not like he's doing anything, but now we got some of Anakin. And I love that they did this callback to Kenobi and him training together, because it's like the mental game they're having with each other out of that one moment. And it's literally explaining the show where we only got Vader in episode 3. And now it's explaining like the whole thing.
It's just showing you that if Anakin would have stuck around as a Jedi and finished his training, he could be more powerful than Obi-Wan, but he left too soon.
Yep. And he
wanted to be a master.
He said it exactly. It was he had to always be validate himself, and he has to
his need to win,
and always his need to win. And that's what it is. And that's always been his downfall. The only thing I hope I get now, and I won't say who, but I am doing the one person thing. I really just want to see him introduced, like him and Ahsoka get introduced. I just want to see it.
Him and Obi-Wan?
No, him and Ahsoka.
Anakin,
like Luke,
Ahsoka.
or Anakin and Anakin and Ahsoka get introduced,
like in live action.
Yeah.
The another thing that it's funny, y'all talk about the parallel and like everything with the entire episode, and that was what was cool, was we finally got a flashback. It wasn't Clone Wars flashback like everybody was wanting. However, the entire thing served a purpose. It wasn't there just to be there, and it served as a lesson for the past that we have seen in the prequel trilogy, the past of whenever the time was for the flashback, and then even their present with what is going on between Obi-Wan and Anakin. The other thing that I want to say is entirely, it was a parallel for the fandom and the viewers of patience, because there were so many complaints, so many people saying, why are we so focused on Reva? What does she really matter? The show is supposed to be about Obi-Wan and Anakin.
Day one.
You did. This guy, we talked about it on this very podcast about how, what if they didn't, because one of the first things Jacob said was, of course they had to break our hearts by showing Order 66 again. But then when we talked about it, it was like, wait, I think there was a little black girl. What if she was a youngling? Because they talked about finding her in a gutter. And what I have felt is, all of the naysayers, you won't more than likely, but you should apologize, because she had literally everything to do with the story being about Anakin and Obi-Wan. Just because it wasn't direct, just because it wasn't, we're getting Anakin, Obi-Wan fighting, talking screen time, didn't mean that her character, the entire driving force is the failure that occurred between Anakin and Obi-Wan. I actually was talking about this with Mesa Windu on TikTok Live, and it was so interesting that had people just waited and not pass judgment and say this show is disappointing, it's awful, they're not giving us what they marketed, let the show fucking finish. Patience. Because guess what? Anakin didn't have patience, and that's why he lost in their training. That's why he lost when they fought 10 years prior to this, and that's why he didn't lose a fight, but if you haven't seen the episode, once you watch it, he lost in.
But I love that
the mind game moment
Jacob,
that happened.
And Jacob will, I think, agree with me on this one. How did he no hand totally wreck this girl and absolutely drop that ship and everything, shish kebab her, and then leave her there alive?
I was gonna say, I don't think she's done yet.
Well, the rumor is she's getting a spinoff anyway, so it's one of those.
Well, I don't think she's done yet this show.
I don't think so either. Well, obviously, look, she picks up again. Remember, we're talking about episode 5 of Obi-Wan Kenobi. Spoilers, because we need to talk about this. She picks up the communicator, gets Organa's message, broken message about the boy on Tatooine, Owen. And if you remember in episode 2, she meets Owen, threatens Owen, knows he has a son, knows now something about the children, and he's important. This ends on Tatooine, which now, look, Star Wars, you're playing in some really delicate stuff right now, because if you bring Vader to Tatooine and it's introduced that he has children, he knows he has children, you are fucking things up.
I don't think they will.
I don't think that.
I don't think
Vader.
I don't think Vader finds out. I don't think Vader. What I talked about with everyone I was talking to, I think we think because Vader can't find out yet, but we think the matchup between Obi-Wan and Anakin happens between getting to Tatooine. There's some intermediary interception of either like maybe after he's delivered Leia to back to the Organas, and then at some point when he's heading back, they meet intermediately, and then the ending is Reva ends up in Tatooine. It's Reva that he's got to go stop. However, if that's the case, the rumors hopefully are true that this episode is going to be longer, because that's what I've heard.
We already got the runtime for it here. Talk amongst yourselves. I'll give the runtime. The runtime came out today.
Okay, because people were saying it was rumored that it was an hour and a half. In which case, that would give them enough time to wrap up some of this stuff. Otherwise, my theory is broken.
It was more than that, but
roughly 40 minutes. It says.
Oh. Disney Plus with these bad finales.
We'll 6 episodes.
It's not Netflix, okay? Netflix is the ones that
Netflix has got good finales, in my opinion.
That's why he's saying it's not them. Oh. They're so great. They ran the streak. 5th episode was great.
Yeah, so roughly 40 minutes. It says.
I think they're like back to like the whole fan thing.
My theory shot, by the way.
I gotta agree with a pretty viral video. There are a lot of fans that just don't like stories. I'm saying it.
Leave that poor boy alone.
Oh, I like him. I'm saying.
I don't disagree.
You have to let things take their course. And yes, there are other shows out there that each episode hits. I personally think each episode of Obi-Wan hits. I think it was good. There were weaker episodes than others. But like you also
none of them are horrible though.
No, and you have to take things from a realistic standpoint. He hasn't been a Jedi in 10 years. Same thing with Luke. Like people just want them to show up and start swinging a lightsaber and acting like they're in the prime of their life. Yeah. They're not. The dude is like 50. Like
for example, look at Mando with the Darksaber. He can't even wield it.
Yeah.
And now in the 3rd season, he'll finally actually wield it. But like he has to learn and train with it and figure it out. And that's a whole thing. But like these kids out here or these people who are doing these.
You gotta write kids.
Bro, because that's what they're acting. They're literally like children in the car going, are we there yet? We there yet?
All the time.
It's like if you don't want to see Aang fight the Fire Lord in season 3 and you want to see him fight in episode 2, then just tell us that. But like if you want an actual story where things are built up and like take Endgame, for example. That movie took 10 years of other films, 22 other films movies to come out in order for that to be as great as it was. Same with Infinity War. And you cannot have those things be as built up and as like just great feeling in the moment if you have no exposition, no story, no realism, and you just skip to fan theories. Or I mean not fan theories, servicing fans, fan service.
What a mess that would be, though, right? Like, it would be such a mess. The fan service, like, if they just fan serviced everything rather than putting stories with it, it'd be horrible.
Yeah, like
it would literally just be Clone Wars flashbacks.
Yeah, people like, yeah, that's the thing. It's like people. One guy, I think it was Mason Windu, he was saying, this was already above his expectations because he would have been okay with just a sad boy series of Obi-Wan on Tatooine, just like learning how to get through life, communicate with like Qui-Gon Jinn, and like maybe find himself as a Jedi again. Like he was like basically all the adventures was icing on the cake, like for him. But that's the thing is like, yeah, if it was everything that fans were wanting, which was like it was marketed to be all about Obi-Wan and Anakin again and like their matchup, then like did you just want him looking at Luke, Clone Wars flashbacks, him going through stuff on Tatooine, Clone Wars flashbacks, him running into Vader, getting scared, Clone Wars flashbacks, and then like finally the matchup and then communicate with Qui-Gon Jinn and boom, end? Like
yeah, everyone wants this like an anime series, like 22 episodes. Like it's not happening.
But speaking of flashbacks, I got a flashback to the early 2000s Green Lantern film this week when I was watching Miss Marvel.
What? Oh, because the way
because
of that line.
Powers.
Because of that line where she's
you know what that was? That was the plane. That's like when you're sitting there watching those planes sideways because the wind drift and they need to land and it's like sideways completely. That's what it was. We landed a little choppy there. It was all right though. So Miss
Marvel was my favorite.
Tell you what, everyone kiss my ass. I don't care. Everybody can kiss my ass. Miss Marvel is great.
Yes, Miss Marvel is amazing.
It's so
good.
Of
fresh air.
And that was my argument with a lot of people right now. Is like it is such a different breath of fresh air because it's a positive Marvel thing. Like all we've had for the last couple of years is either sad into Infinity War, in between Infinity War and Endgame, post Endgame. Yeah, like right, and everything is post
trauma after trauma.
Right, and now we're getting a story about this 16-year-old girl who just loves life and wants to help, and like is so
drama might be on the way though, but
drama is definitely on the way. But it's the visuals are bright. Everything about it is happy and positive and not about.
She's excited about being a hero.
Yeah, and like and it's nothing about like trying to figure out the mourning death of somebody you loved or trying to figure out who you are or something, right?
It's trying to live up to. Well, it is trying to figure out who you are, but it's also trying to live up to.
But
what
not
you
there's no mourning of like
death. No, not from taking on a title from somewhere else or something like that.
And everyone's like, ugh, I don't like this. Why does it have to be? And Jacob knows where I'm going with this. Why does it have to be so woman pushed? Why is it so MCU? Which I think
I'm using MCU as a positive term now.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I stitched your video the other day and I got some great comments.
MCU. I'm so ready.
Nice.
Did you see the one comment I got off that video I stitched with you?
No.
Somebody put, no. The same guy you answered, same guy that commented your thing, then commented on mine, commented again saying, no, I meant like, I don't hate like women stuff. It's just like when it's forced, like, in Endgame, when they forced that woman team up BS in Endgame. And I went, you mean the A-Force nod they did? Oh, again, in a comic. And he said, I read comics. I just don't read comics I don't want to read that have women as the main character. And I'm just like, so you're sexist. I mean, just say it. Like, say I just don't like women empowerment. I'm an asshole. And like, be done. Yeah, you put me. I'm on a platform right now.
He's on a soapbox
right now. Like, because it's just ridiculous. And it's
preach.
You know what? I'm about to. I'm going to preach right now. Hey, everybody. I'm the Official Mags. I want to let everybody know if you do not like women or different ethnicities or things like that, don't watch Marvel because you're about to get a whole lot of go fuck yourself for the next couple years. I just want to make that very clear. For you. So like after this, guess what? You've got a Miss Marvel. Guess what's coming next? She-Hulk. Oh, it's a woman Hulk. Shit, ain't that something? What's after that? Oh yeah, a double female-led Black Panther movie introducing, ready? A female Iron Man. And guess what?
Wait, Adam, don't get mad about that. We got Black Panther 2 coming soon, which will be filled with all freaking women.
and that's the movie I'm talking about. And guess what? All three of them not only are going to be two of them are going to be leading. That will be partially the story. But guess what? All Black led too. All female Black led.
Wild.
Ain't that some shit? And then guess what?
Ain't that some shit?
And in February, we're getting Ant-Man. Paul Rudd will be in there, but it's going to be also some female-led stuff in there. But right after that is The Marvels. 3 female-led movie. And it's not going to stop because then we're going to get Kate Bishop back. We're going to get Yelena back. And most of the Marvel, even Thunderbolts. Avengers, yeah, you got the Thunderbolts coming. There you go. There's some men stuff for you.
It's not even just women too. Like Young Avengers is for sure going to be in the future. You've got women in that show, but you also have a lesbian relationship, a gay relationship, and you also have somebody questioning if they're bi or not.
Just for my buddy, because I know how much he and I talk about it. Black Gay Comic Geek, give me Wiccan
and Hulkling,
right, the relationship, live action. Oh, give me the drama, smoke, heat. And guess what? Everyone's gonna be like, "Oh my god, I can't believe how
asking for the smoke.
I can't believe how much wokeness is going on here."
I'm
hey,
so
everybody,
sick of the fucking term woke.
read a fucking comic book. It's been doing this for years. There's your Stitch. There's your there's your whole YouTube video. You're welcome. I'm done.
I'm gonna need to just real quick also get on soapbox.
I'm gonna drink now. I need a drink now after that. I'm good.
This guy.
Talks amongst.
I will say that, like, Miss Marvel, though, outside of the hate that it's been getting, deserves praise. I mean, that episode was phenomenal. Like, the theories that are already running through my head and other people's heads of, like, yo, what's up with Kamran? Like, what's up with his mom? Like, what is all this going on? And then, yeah, Jordan and I were talking about it earlier. It's very possible that Kevin Feige and Marvel are using the Department of Damage Control as almost a way to bring together the Young Avengers and show them that their superheroing ways need some revision and need to make sure that they're not being destructive whenever they're saving someone. So I think that's kind of, I think that's kind of where we're headed. And I don't think Kamala is in trouble. I think it just seems like that for now. But I think that's where it's headed, and I'm excited for that.
What he said.
It's not something you would disagree with. So
usually you and I don't disagree that much.
For the most part, Lightyear earlier.
Don't get me started on that fucking Lightyear shit.
But speaking about Miss Marvel and Marvel,
I have a soapbox real quick.
Oh, okay, good.
And I almost forgot, and I might have forgotten. Wait, hold on. I'm gonna.
We were talking about Department of Damage Control.
Here, let me help you.
No, it was Marvel. This was all the way
soapbox
back.
is gone.
Oh, wow, this guy. See, this is why everyone can't have control. And I'm gonna secretly kick y'all off my behind the scenes. I'm just kidding. But no, just speaking of like all of the like just different black led stuff, different. Oh, the term woke. That's where I was. It was Adam, you said it earlier, and this I was ready for this. I'm fucking sick of the term woke because here's the thing. There's a lot of terms that go around, specifically in black culture, black Twitter, black internet, that we start and it finds its way to everyone else, and then everyone else just overuses it or uses it in the wrong context, because the term woke was literally used to be for being like more aware of something or being aware of something that a lot of people are ignoring. Now people just use it as a term to be an excuse for being ignorant and like if you use the term woke for everything that you feel is too edgy and trying to push a political agenda, you're probably just racist and ignorant. Like
it's almost like when people are like, well, I'm not racist, but right, like it's just like
I have a black best friend. You know, my sister, she dated a black guy once. And it gives that same energy. So yeah, I get so sick of it. It's just like I heard this earlier today. The term "Bye Felicia" that actually like comes from Friday, and most people on the internet wouldn't even know that. And again, it was fine when it started, but then you started having people use it just in the wrong context. And again, like as a black man, we just see that happen, and we're like, okay, it's time to stop using it. Like, y'all just out here ruining it. So anyway, stop using fucking woke to describe stuff that is just people's lives. Because this episode of Miss Marvel, to get back on the subject at hand, they showed so many things about like them being women in their culture. And anyone who thinks that is woke, like, oh, why did you need to include that? It's not like they recast this character to be Pakistani. Like this is how the character has always been. This has been who they are. And we always talk about trying to get rid of erasure and all that stuff. So like, again, them including her actual life and not just making the whole show powers, fight, train to be a hero. Y'all need to learn how to be okay with plot. All right, I'm done.
Or read a comic book.
The other thing I will say about that is, if you when's the last time, and I want you to name the title, that you've seen two women in a mosque in a movie or a TV show? And not white women.
And just a regular conversation too at that.
Oh, I was gonna say FBI, the FBI show I watch.
But it was white
women. On NCIS, but
no, they're actually really good about casting and stuff. But they didn't have any women at the mosque. It was all family and stuff like that. They were
white
background
women there for religious purposes. I'm saying like if you're saying CSI and they're in there like investigating a murder that happened in the mosque or something.
I was gonna say NCIS is literally like probably the only thing I could think of, and like they're. It was typically to be like this person is.
And how much of a point though? Like when they're sitting there talking about
the bathroom.
No. When the agency is talking about like, all right, we'll do a thing, and we'll look at this area, and then mosques.
But you got to be careful because you know how the FBI is on their ass already.
They're already watching, surveilling them as is. We have to be polite and stuff because the FBI is already watching them. What a actual like realistic thing, because it's so true. Like
getting watched more than these guys who are acquiring semi-automatic weapons to go to elementary schools.
Point being, like you have a show that's showing you two Pakistani American women in a mosque, and maybe not Pakistani Americans, but Muslims in general are a overwhelming amount of our population on planet Earth. So the fact that we can't name at least 4 or 5, astronomical. That's weird.
Yeah.
So odd.
And
so it's not erasure. It's not woke in the way that Jordan was saying people are using it now. It's the original form of the word, how it should be used. And it is erasure of their culture until now.
Yeah, they're doing such a great job with the awareness and like the comments they're making and things like that. They're not. It's like Disney being real smart, but like on the side sly right now. You know what I mean? Because they're still under a lot of shit from Florida and all this stuff and everything. So Disney's kind of like treading, but like on the side making little jabs.
Even the point with Naki, I think is her friend's name, where it's like she's very fair-skinned, and so even she is looked at like very differently from like people in her family. And
that speech in the bathroom was great.
Yeah, it was a moment that I was like, damn, like and that's another thing that people don't like to talk about, is like the intersectionality of so many situations where like if you don't look the part, even sometimes you get shit on both ends. And her just being like, I make the decision to wear this because I feel like me. Like I was like, yes, go ahead.
Yeah,
show's great. 2 episodes in, and I'm all in.
Can't wait. Give me more. I'm right now. It looks like episode 3 is the turn, right? Like that's what it looks like it's about to be. So I'm excited for this week. That'll be great. What a busy Wednesday. Jeez, I got a real busy Wednesday now. Thor. I don't know if anyone heard. There's this movie, Thor: Love and Thunder, coming out. Anybody know about this? News to me. Apparently, there's a runtime now of 1 hour and 59 minutes. Just under 2 hours. Literally, like just under 2 hours.
And people were in an uproar. They're like, we keep getting short movies. This shit.
Like,
I know people are upset about it, but like, if you go back and you write down your top 10 favorite movies, hardly any of them are over 2 hours. The 2 hour thing has become a recent thing. Like Lord of the Rings, when it came out in theaters, they kept their movies pretty short, but the theatrical version's 3-4 hours. And that's
3.5 was pretty much the average.
Yeah, and like they wouldn't put the extended version of those movies in theaters because like nobody's going to go to a movie theater for 3.5 hours. But now with movies like The Batman and Endgame, people are at theaters for 3.5 hours, and it's just
we'll do it.
I love, first of all, go back to that panel. Go back.
I was gonna.
Anyway, to wrap up my thought, 1 hour and 50 minutes, 1 hour and 30 minutes is plenty of time.
And that's my argument right now.
Got emojis.
Yeah, I saw the emojis. I put it up. I mean, you could have used my tweet, but whatever. So yeah.
Anyway,
so
signed in.
I love this right here. It's hysterical because it's an hour. It says that the previously was 1 hour and 59 minutes. No, you're all wrong. It's shorter, 1 hour and 55 minutes, and it's just like, It's 4 minutes.
You have that
whatever.
backwards. They're saying
But like,
it was longer than previously claimed.
Whatever,
It was claimed
who
to be
cares?
155. Now it's 159.
Whatever.
Either
It's
way,
4 minutes.
Who cares?
Like 3 extra names got put into the end crawl, but I just think it's crazy because like Jacob was saying, an hour and a half was a oh my god, that's good movie, and then like 2 hours was like, oh my god, it's like 2 hours. Now if it's like not close to 3 hours, it's not a real Marvel movie. Look, like we're getting all these shows now, and these movies are extensions kind of now to the Disney Plus shows where it's just filling in the shows.
I just want to point out really quickly for anyone who really questions an hour and 59-minute movie. The first Iron Man was 2 hours and 6 minutes. That is 7 minutes longer.
Which everyone says is the best Marvel movie.
Pinnacle movie. It's always in my top 5. It was different. It just was different. So that I'm sorry to interrupt you. Continue on. I wanted to make sure to share that with the masses.
Edward Scissorhands, an hour and 45 minutes.
We could sit here and go through it.
An hour and 54 minutes. Matilda, which is a great movie, an hour and 35 minutes. Megamind, an hour and 36 minutes. Like Napoleon Dynamite's an hour and 22 minutes. Like films that are good do not need 3 hours to tell their story. The only films that do need 3 hours to tell their story are films that have that much story to give.
Correct.
There's no story to this. First of all, it's Thor's 4th movie.
He's just having fun.
and like at this point, what more story do you need? This is like an ender, I think, honestly.
Also, still on topic, because we talked about Lightyear. Toy Story, the original Toy Story, hour and 21 minutes.
Yeah.
Literally, thing could have been 3 episodes of a show.
And what? Probably in everybody's top 10 of all time movies?
Yep. You don't need more than an hour and 20 minutes. Anyway, that's all I wanted to see or say.
All right. So I added something. Not that though, Jordan, that you just took out.
Oh, okay. I thought that you just didn't see it.
I saw. Hey, we're getting 3 new Avatar animated movies.
Oh, that's not what I took out. So see, you were.
No,
you're
I know.
wrong.
I saw. You said it was already there, so I moved on to the one after it.
I'm very grateful that we're getting 3 new Avatar movies.
And Avatar Airbender, not Blue People.
I'm grateful it's Avatar: The Last Airbender and not
James
Avatar,
Cameron. No, I'm just kidding.
The moon of Avatar.
The ripoff to Captain Planet. Go ahead. Anyways, continue.
Did you
I'm just excited for the show to come back in a big way because it deserves it.
Oh, because what's the last one we got? The live action.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Out of curiosity, though,
I think actually Legend of Korra came out after that.
It did.
But
real question though.
I didn't think about that.
Do all 3 animated movies get done and released before the live action Avatar Netflix show?
No.
Do you think that it? Wait.
Do you think the live action?
Because the show has been in works for a while now. So like, what makes
you really think the show is going to get released before all 3 of them get released?
I think so.
I don't think.
I think we may get 1 animated movie before we get the show. I don't think we'll get all 3.
Are these all like following? Are the movies all following expanded stories, like expanded lore?
I would imagine so because
I think so. I forget what it said it was following. Yeah.
Avatar Kyoshi need her own thing.
I forget what it said.
And Roku, honestly.
Yeah, I agree. I didn't read what it said. I just wanted to pop it in real quick for a thing because it just like 2 days ago got announced. So I thought it was going to be good. Plus, I know both of you I know both of you like Avatar. So
one of the greatest shows of all time. It's an anime that isn't necessarily categorized as an anime. You can fight me about it.
Oh, next thing on the docket, because I don't want to even hear your opinion about this show if you don't like it. Let's see. What are we talking about? Zendaya, the Joker?
Yeah, Zendaya's on there. So hey, Zendaya trended on Twitter this week, and it wasn't, and it was a lie. Apparently,
now
our girl
hates the internet because of y'all.
I mean, if that's really what she hated it for, right? Like, but yeah, Zendaya.
These memes were hilarious, though.
Yeah, Zendaya apparently.
This is Denzel Washington saying, "No, I don't accept that."
Yeah, apparently Zendaya somehow on Twitter it came out that she was pregnant. and the internet just imploded. You would have thought a Kardashian photo came out, and and now it's like she's not. And this is sometimes the argument we all three of us have on the side on the text with the internet. Just just stupid shit. So
people just open their mouths and not think before it's already opened.
It's
you don't always have to hit send.
Yeah, you don't always have to hit post, hit send on that message that you typed out, that tweet that you put. As soon as I saw it, it very much similarly, because I didn't see that it was false at first, but I kind of was like, because it's similar to the same thing that happened with Rihanna. Like, yeah, of course, this time she did finally end up having a baby, but even when it started trending on Twitter that she was pregnant with this baby that she just had, she was like, y'all always trying to make me pregnant, which like threw people off for like a little bit, because she trends like every couple of months, probably a year to a year and a half. If like every 12 to 18 months, Rihanna would trend for being pregnant with somebody's baby. And it's just like, well, no, that's what I'm saying. This time she really was, but even this time she was like, y'all always trying to make me pregnant, because the internet, just someone says it and it trends on Twitter. Someone makes a joke or someone says, I think she looked pregnant in this photo, and everybody talks about it. Would tweet
that I was pregnant just so I could be viral for a little bit.
Well, you actually might go viral for that, because everyone would be like, yo, this older white man, you know, he's in his 30s and
joke's on you. I'd put your photo up and say, this is the daddy.
This guy, oh my god.
And then I put my photo up and be like, and I'm the baby.
Oh my god,
my dad, and I got my whiteness from my other dad.
Oh my god, you guys are hilarious.
Shit. All right.
Anyway, about laughter though, the Joker.
Is that where we're going? Like, we went all the way back up.
We just didn't talk about it. I want to talk about the Joker.
I want to talk about it real quick. I don't want to spend a lot of time on it because the other ones are decent. I look, I'm okay with the sequel of the Joker. I'm okay with them talking to Lady Gaga to play a female lead role alongside Joaquin Phoenix. I'm fine with all that. But when you're making it a fucking musical out of nowhere, and it's just like, you sit there and it's like, oh, hey, Scarface, let's make a second movie to Scarface. We'll call it Scarface, Havana Nights, Singer. That's what we'll do. We'll do all that. Hey, Jordan, your email, by the way, is like right there. You might want to get rid of that.
I don't care. Y'all gonna hit my line. Business inquiries only.
Yeah. It's just so stupid.
Right, though.
It's just a film that didn't. I disagree with Adam. I don't think it needed a sequel. I'm not fine with it having a sequel. I think it should have been left.
I don't think it should either. But like, if we're gonna do it, I don't hate Lady Gaga being in it. I don't hate that they're bringing back Joaquin Phoenix, the same director. I don't hate any of that.
Dislike any of that. I'm just saying, like, if you have like a movie, like, let's take this for instance, Jurassic Park. Like, did it need a sequel? People hated the sequel. Did it need a trilogy? People liked the third one, but I mean, they weren't as crazy about it as the first one. And now we have 6 movies and shorts and TV shows based on this one franchise, only because it's the only franchise that includes dinosaurs anymore. For what,
and we might have 3 more on the way with the what is the next one?
Cretaceous.
They already addressed, though, didn't they say in like the first one that some of the dinosaurs were like from the Cretaceous period? So why did they call it Jurassic Park?
I don't know. All I'm saying is you have movies that, and honestly, like, there are movies that should have sequels because the sequels outdo the original. But like, I think in this case, the original was good. I liked it. It wasn't one of my favorites, but like, it should be left alone. It made a commentary socially, and I think it doesn't need to say anymore. I think it's good how it is.
Yeah.
But I think you can completely tank a franchise by making another movie.
There's no good thing that's coming from this, I don't think. The only good, here's what I will tell you. The only thing that will actually happen from this is that the soundtrack is going to be fire because it's Lady Gaga.
Well, so someone did post too, I think it was Blu-ray, He had posted like old school Joker in like the Batman animated series used to be singing. So he was like, so I'm cool with it. And when he showed the clips, I'm like, okay, this is funny. However, hearing Mark Hamill sing as the Joker Christmas songs and little horrific sounding things, what is it called? That's one thing. But do I want to see Joaquin Phoenix have a voiceover singer, or worse, possibly hear him singing? No, I really don't. And I think Jacob, you pointed this out last week. Again, it's one of those things like, do you possibly taint what you already left on like a good thing by making a sequel? And the moment I heard the news that it was going to be a musical, I was like, all right, well, it sounds more like it's leaning that direction. So anyways, the Joker.
There's definitely possibilities. There's definitely possibilities to take an original movie that people liked a lot and make it better, but it really is. It's got to be a script. It's got to be a hell of a script.
If they were going to make a DC villain into a musical, the only one that I think would work is if you do a Nightmare Before Christmas styling, and it's Mr. Freeze.
Not Music Meister, who literally is nope. His entire thing is music.
I got that. I'm with you. Like, could you imagine if they do like love songs and he's sitting there singing to his wife and she's in the telling you. Condiment King it is. All right. Condiment King the musical, ladies and gentlemen.
Nobody cared about what you said.
Nope.
No, just kidding.
Nope. What was I gonna go? Jordan, talk about your Xbox stuff, because you're such an Xbox fan.
I love how you have all these great segues for anything else, and then I want to talk about something.
Jacob,
you know what?
I
think that this is a plot. I think that this is y'all being anti-woke. I'm just fucking playing. Oh damn! No, nobody. I ruined it.
I don't like the word woke. Okay.
No, but this past week there was the Xbox and Bethesda game showcase. I did a little bit of coverage on it, and it was just interesting. They marketed it as a roadmap for their next 12 months of games. I think it would have been received a little bit better because it was really showcasing a lot more independent studios, not like a ton of AAA titles. But it was just cool to see 12 months of
it was cool to see Socks the cat getting his own game.
No, actually, TMNT Shredder's Revenge actually came to Game Pass, and yeah, you sitting there trying to add, like, a lot of people are really loving that game, so
I know.
On you.
What was that game called again? Stray?
Yeah, Stray.
No, that was that. What?
Stray is a game about a cat that just walks around.
Yeah, that's on PlayStation. You yuts.
I know.
Don't take my gaming bag, okay? No, I'm just kidding. But no, it was interesting. A lot of cool games. They showed Starfield, which I don't necessarily know how I feel about that because it's a Bethesda game. You guys know, like Destiny and all that shit. It looked like it was cool, and then they were like, "There's over 100 systems and 1,000 planets." Who the fuck wants like 5,000 hours of gameplay?
You know what that sounds like? That sounds like some No Man's Sky shit where you buy.
I was literally
buy it.
thinking the same.
It's not going to work, and then 2 years later, hey, guess what? We finally fixed it. We realized we didn't push play. Our bad.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm with the people who have said, if you're gonna have an open world RPG like that, why not have 5 good planets to explore or something like that? Like,
do you guys remember this other game
have to do 1,000?
That was gonna be like the next huge thing called Anthem?
Or even another game that was gonna be the next huge thing called Cyberpunk.
Oh God!
I will say,
why you gotta make fun of her like that?
This year, I will say, has been a great year to be a gamer, just because of the whole Netflix thing that we talked about last week with mobile gaming and other games coming out, and then, like Jordan said, with the Xbox Game Pass, and then, like, I know I'm probably the only one excited about these two, but I'm still excited about Midnight Suns, and I am excited about the Gotham Knights, and I'm not talking about the shitty CW show. I'm talking about the game. And on top of that, we also got trailers and announcements for and I believe this was all this year, Spider-Man 2 on PlayStation. We also got a trailer and announcement.
There's a new trailer
for Kingdom Hearts 4. Well, I mean, it's the same trailer for Spider-Man, but we got a trailer and announcement for Kingdom Hearts 4, which is my favorite game series of all time.
We finally got some stuff, some announcements on the Fable game that we've all been waiting for.
People were mad they didn't show that at the showcase.
Nobody gives a shit.
Gamers are really lucking out this year. That's all I'm going to say. We've just been doing real nice.
And we all agree, though, the best thing to happen in gaming this year, no build Fortnite.
Oh, I thought you were going to say like Farmville Simulator. Like
no, I wasn't even going to mess with you. Like, honestly, can we? It's true. It really kind of brought back Fortnite. Doing a no build Fortnite really brought back.
I was such a big supporter of build Fortnite, and then I started playing it with my friends, like no build, and I'm like,
and it kind of hit different.
I was like, this is better. I was like, I don't know why it's better, but it's better.
They added so many other mobility mechanics. Yeah, they added so many other mobility mechanics too, like the sprint, the mantling, the different like grenades and stuff. Now you've got the animals you can take over.
They also got the Indiana Jones whip thing that they got going on now.
That's basically Spider-Man gloves now. For those of y'all listening or watching, you can actually check us. We kind of go live sometimes and play games sometimes. YouTube.com, search Daily Kazoo Podcast. We played Fortnite, which is another cool reason that we're actually talking about it, because we're all still kind of playing behind the scenes too. So,
and I was a huge like no Fortnite guy. Like Jacob was saying, I hated the build. I hated everything about it. I was Call of Duty or Apex 100%. That was it. And now I got no build Fortnite, and I was like, oh, let me go back on this. And it slaps. It's so good.
I will say though, if you are gonna watch us play games like on our channel or on any one of our channels, we don't look always the best. Sometimes it's pretty scary. Speaking of scary, M. Night Shyamalan's got a new movie coming out.
I mean, you could have just said, here, let me help you. Ready? We're going to help you. Let me help you. Ready? You could have been like, hey, so sometimes we do stream some scary games. Like last night on my channel, I streamed. What game did you stream?
I streamed The Quarry, which is a lot like, oh gosh, what was that game?
Lost.
Right, gone.
I can't remember. It was the movie Until Dawn.
Until Dawn. Great game.
Yeah,
they need to get that sequel.
Same exact people that made this game.
They need the sequel to that.
So far, it's good.
Maybe this is the sequel.
So
unofficial.
It's not.
It seems like it.
Anyways, I wanted to bring up the M. Night Shyamalan. I'm not a big M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong fan at all.
A lot of people are really mad ever since that Avatar movie. That ruined his name in the streets, bro.
And like what? Like maybe Signs is probably the last good thing he did. Let's be honest.
Oh, what? Split?
Split's okay.
Bro, Split is a masterpiece. I don't know what you're talking about.
Split is okay.
Did you like that?
And even Glass brought back.
Good.
Like, what
I like Glass. I like Glass more than I like Split.
Did you like how Split came in? Split came in like so many years after. What was the first movie?
Unbreakable.
I
noticed.
Yeah,
I was like, he was saying that he was gonna have like Split come into Glass, and Glass was gonna have Bruce Willis in it, and it seemed like it was the Unbreakable character. I went back and watched Split and Unbreakable back to back, and I was like, wait, Bruce Willis survived a plane or a train accident, or no, somebody had talked about a train accident in that movie, and then later on you're watching Split.
It was low key referenced.
Yeah, you're watching Split, and he says, "My dad died in a train crash when I was young," and I was like, "Oh, he's setting this up now, like what?" And then Glass comes out 5-7 years later. Like,
so the only reason I'm bringing this up is the new movie that he's doing is called Knock at the Cabin, and look. He's going to do a horror movie. We all know that. That's cool. The reason I'm bringing it up is he's shooting it in 35 millimeter. So it has the old horror film look to it.
Okay.
And I kind of love that.
Choice.
Yeah. Like I love that.
Well, that's, I'm not a big horror movie guy, but that is interesting because I wouldn't have even known that was like a
they just announced that. But like I'm happy because that's the route they're going with, the horror kind of scary thing. But something else kind of like a horror scary thing. Y'all remember that show on Netflix called Squid Games that happened and kind of like shook all of us during quarantine?
That was a good show.
First of all, that game, not game, Jesus, Squid Game, but that show was some just stuff.
Well, they finally announced an actual second season of it. But not only did they announce the second season of it, we are also going to get a live, actual, in-person game show on Netflix for Squid Game. 400 and 456 contestants. Winner gets $4.56 million.
My head hurts. They're taken out.
I signed up, by the way. I signed up.
You did?
Yep.
Hey, man, we'll see. Daily Kazoo podcast makes it the Squid Game. What happens? Hopefully there's no really random. I'm sure that they're going to be really gimmicky, and somewhere in the terms and conditions in the NDA, they're going to make you seem like you're going to risk your life. Well, guys, if you're listening or watching, let's hope Adam is still with us if he makes it on the show. The only way that we'll find out is if he never returns. We're also say what?
I said, and we'll know who's to blame.
Oh yeah, true. But yeah, the Ji-hun's gonna return. Apparently, the front man's gonna return. We'll also be introduced to Young Hee's boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
Who was Young Hee? I don't remember.
She was the third.
That was the girl.
Yeah,
that was the girl. Okay, mm-hmm. I was making sure that was her character's name.
Because originally they were talking about doing a prequel where it showed how the old man bought it and how he became the main leader and how his brother got involved and all this stuff. That was the original talk, but it looks like it's not. Also, they do promise it will not take 10 years. And we're getting introduced to the brother of the girl.
Which we saw him, but I guess like more directly.
Yeah. So this is going to be dope.
Oh, because maybe he's going to also learn how his sister died.
No. The brother of the girl, meaning like the animatronic girl that turns around and like kills.
I thought you meant the brother of the girl that we just were talking about, the boyfriend.
Nope.
Yeah, why the fuck does the robot have a brother? Anyway,
so it's an actual cultural thing. Like there's a story. It's almost like like a horror story type thing where like the sister and brother, like the sister was there, but the brother got brought up in interviews and stuff like that. So now they're bringing in the brother of it. I'm stoked. I cannot wait. References. Squid Game was fantastic.
They took over the internet.
Squid Game kind of brought Netflix back when that came in.
I would agree.
So
hopefully we get him back, but we'll continue on.
Yeah, we will.
On top of he was supposed to have. We have Jacob dealing with some technical difficulties.
There he is.
He is back.
Hey.
And the next thing, speaking of just Netflix
Mom picked up the phone. That dial-up is a real pain in the ass.
You just always got to get your jokes off. We have Squid Game getting attention with Netflix, one of their most successful shows. Jacob, I believe you had something about Netflix also coming with a movie.
Yeah, Netflix has got like really, as y'all know, Netflix has got some really good sci-fi stuff that's groundbreaking and it's not always based on something. Like it's fresh and it's a new take. So like Black Mirror or Squid Game. But today actually we got Spiderhead, which
halfway done.
I'm so excited. Is it any good so far?
So far, so really good.
Okay. It's rated R. It's an hour and 47 minutes on Netflix. It stars two gods, literally for one of them, Chris Hemsworth, and then the man himself with the mustache, Miles Teller.
Can we all agree Miles Teller's like the man, like a treasure because of like he can dance, can sing, play piano, play the drums, can act his ass off, charming as shit, funny. I just think he's going to be it.
But in this film, he is a prisoner, and he's in a state-of-the-art penitentiary, and he begins to question the purpose of the emotion-controlling drugs he's testing for a pharmaceutical genius, being Chris Hemsworth. So this movie looks like it's going to be pretty great, and as Adam has said, at least halfway through, it's pretty great. So.
It's a quick turn, real quick turn. Like it's just that you're into it, and then boom, everything starts. So like it's a little bit of a rush of an opening, but I think it's one of those ones where it rushes open, but then explains everything as it goes.
Okay. I like those kind of films, so
I'm okay with it. It's great. It's Chris. Chris is so far genius, and Miles is even better.
I can't wait to watch it because I did see a promo for it. I saw a promo for it literally early today. Didn't realize that's what it was. I saw Chris Hemsworth and Miles Teller and didn't think anything of it. Yeah, so looking forward to it. I'll probably watch it with my wife. If it's, again, part of the reason I won't be watching horror stuff is because my wife doesn't watch horror stuff. But if it's just sci-fi, she's probably cool with it.
It's how can I? Here's what I would tell. I can't with what you just text. I had a thing, and then I was just gonna. You're lucky I did not roast you. So
Bruh, do what you want. You always gonna get these jokes off.
No, I'm okay. I'll let you be. You with your hip hop Drake album. So next thing you know, everybody, Chris Rock's gonna have a hard, or Chris Brown's gonna have a hardcore rock album. So,
oh my God.
Anyways. Here's what I'll tell you about the movie so far. If you don't do well with like sexual things and things like that, I wouldn't watch it.
Okay.
It's not, there's no nudity or anything like that, but like it's about emotions and like, can human emotion be controlled? So
is it more about sex, or like, are you trying to warn from sexual trauma being triggered, or are you trying to warn about it's more of like sexual?
So I'm not going to ruin anything because it does show in the trailer. So they have these devices in them, and Chris Hemsworth and them are working on a drug to help with human emotion and not feeling alone and things like that. And it's like they can do a liquid drug that helps you verbalize things better, and then there's a drug that makes your love better. Like you feel love towards somebody. Like Jordan and I were in a room and they pulled it up all the way. It would, that you give me that look, man. It's exactly what it is. Or like there's a rage one where like you're absolutely is terrified to like, but to the point to kill people. So like that's where this goes. So they push those boundaries heavy.
Isn't that?
So that's what I'll tell you. Yes, it's exactly like another movie. Yes.
No, there was another.
Kinda, actually.
I mean, sort of. No, there was a recent Netflix movie where there was like, I don't know, it was something people with powers. I can't remember. I know I watched it with my wife. I don't remember if Ryan Reynolds was in there or if it was like Samuel L. Jackson.
Well,
I don't know.
These people don't have powers, right? They're hyped up on emotions.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Oh, okay.
And he's trying to have like a normal life, and he keeps questioning Chris Hemsworth of like what he's doing. But Chris is trying to figure out like what the effects of the drugs are, because they're only on the drugs when they're in experiments, and when they're not, they're just normal people. And he's trying to see what the long-term effects are. Like if he makes them love somebody, is that love still in them later on? Like they still have like an inner feeling towards them.
Do they sustain the effects?
Yeah,
of the drugs over long
right.
term?
Mm-hmm. So that's what I would tell you about the movie. It's a very weird thinker, but it's something similar-ish to something else, and I can't put my finger on what it is. Inside Out was actually a pretty decent reference, kind of, but
on that.
But yeah, so but that is literally it. Next week.
Wait a minute, there is one more thing.
There's nothing.
Game of Thrones.
Oh, I did bring that
up.
I did bring
Kit Harington has been confirmed.
The King of the North is back.
Confirmed to be playing in like a Jon Snow sequel.
Yes.
Sequel series? Yeah, for Game of Thrones, which very interesting because some people have been saying, actually, I saw someone say, I almost wonder if they are retconning the end of the show. Like, what's the continuation like? Are we just gonna like forget the last season and maybe someone was like, what if, and I don't think either of you have really watched Game of Thrones, but
I did. I watched it open and close.
Oh, well, some people were like, what if it was that what if they retcon the end? Like it was a possibility Bran saw, and like now we get like a real ending. I don't know. That might be a reach.
Look,
but
let me make this clear. If they lost this shit, I'm gonna be pissed. Because Lost is one of the biggest disappointing shows to me ever.
I remember watching
the ending of Lost.
I liked Lost. Lost might have been one of those shows
so
that
much is explained right now.
Lost might have been one of those shows that maybe ran its course too long. Like if they,
I agree with that.
It was one of those shows that if you run your seasons too long, like I think someone was saying, it's kind of like Breaking Bad. Like season 5 is kind of like where like series end really well. Like people have been saying stuff that ends at 4 seasons is usually not enough. But if you are gonna make like a 6 or 7 season, they got to be really good because
like Grey's Anatomy or something like that. So like season 20 or some nonsense.
All right, well, we call Grey's Anatomy on this show, then that means it's time to go.
Didn't there you go. Mean to rhyme. Welcome.
Boom, bat, boom. Call me a rapper.
Yeah, so I'm excited about it
because we're awesome.
So I do have a question though about this announcement of Game of Thrones though. With them developing this, do we think we get any Black Knight stuff earlier or later now? Because there's a lot of rumors like, okay, we saw him talking with Blade. Mahershala Ali and them have announced that they're going to start filming this upcoming year. Like, if Game of Thrones gets developed and gets greenlit and all that's good, then they can start filming at the same time. What it gets pushed? Game of Thrones or Black Knight?
I mean, I think Black Knight is coming with Blade, which is set to start filming next month. So this is talking early development. Like, this is probably still in the writer's room, to be honest. He's probably still got some time.
I hope, because I just hope it doesn't push that.
I don't think he's going to be main either. I feel like he's going to be like a little bit in Blade, and then maybe he is in the like next time we see some more Eternals, which we don't even know how far out that is.
But we're watching an Eternal now.
What are you talking about?
Miss Marvel.
Oh, well, yeah, but I'm saying Eternals, the actual Eternals that we saw go up with Arashim and all that shit, like when he goes to get his lady. You always just playing too much.
She's an Inhuman because as everyone knows, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is canon. Hey, everybody, have a great day. Thanks for coming to the podcast. I appreciate
sure we ended
everybody.
On the most negative note. Bye, y'all. I've been JPhrygian. That is up here. Who are you?
I'm KingVonSchweetz.
And I'm a douchebag.
He's the official Megs. And also remember to wish him happy birthday.
Us right now.
Siri just said, "Sorry, I can't make changes to your contacts."
That's what I was like. Who is yelling at us right now? I'm the official Megs. Right. I'm the official Megs. This has been another amazingly disoriented episode of the Daily Kazoo. And
just like the Bugle.
Yeah, be back next week for more wild stuff. I mean, Nope next week, Kenobi finale, 3rd episode of Miss Marvel. What else? I have 2 movies. Elvis.
Mid-season of Miss Marvel too.
And yeah, mid-season, and then what else? I have another movie.
Did you say Kenobi already?
Yeah, Kenobi. I have another movie. Literally like 2 days later. What movie is it? Black Phone.
Oh, true.
I have an early viewing for Black Phone, so I will be watching Black Phone, Nope, and Elvis next week.
We're going to talk about the appropriator. I'm just saying. We'll talk about it. I'll talk to you.
He's not wrong.
Yeah, we'll have to. We'll because we got to end this episode. We'll talk, but then next week. I mean, I'm not going to see the movie more than likely, but I'm going to tell you the story about why I always make that joke. I mean, again, like Jacob said, I'm not wrong, but also I have a funny personal story.
Saying you aren't. I'm just like I was. Like, what? I gotta end them on a funny movie. Note. I gotta watch it. All right, bye.